Hello viewers, and welcome to more content on Dirt Rally 2.0. Now again, I mentioned in the previous video the rallycross that the footage supplied was running at 20 frames. The game obviously was not, but I've included a little bit in the corner there. Suffice to say that it's not even worth watching, simply because the frame rate was so low on it. But it did give me the audio, so we've got some direct feed audio while I'm driving. Driving here on the PC version, and this was very challenging when you're not used to using the gear stick all the time. I'm not, so it took a bit of time. There's a lot of gear changes in rallying, and what I was finding challenging was what type of gear to go through each corner. It's not like, again, it's not like a an assisted sim where you can go into a corner in any gear. You need to really have an understanding of speed through the corner, how much wheel spin you're going to get, how much wheel spin you should get before you shift up a gear. So a lot of this video, half this video, was me just trying to figure out when do I change gear and when do I use the handbrake. At this point I still wasn't quite certain when to use the handbrake occasionally. Like there, you see I got on the handbrake a little bit late, but it still wasn't quite clear to me. I mean, on a hairpin you'd use the handbrake, seems quite obvious, but on here I found that given the understeering nature of the car, a one turn always required a little touch of a handbrake just to get through the corner. It's funny, but after you've watched an expert like John on there, everybody else seems really slow, but as I say, he's been on it for months and we're all sort of learning it. And I think on the whole it was very intuitive. There was an authenticity to the way you approach it. Obviously, as the stage goes on, you start to push those limits more and more, and hence mistakes generally come later in the stage. It's also quite heavy in terms of concentration. It's a very high concentration experience, Dirt Rally. If you played the original or this, when you're playing it here, you get 7 minutes, 8 minutes into a stage, and after God knows how many corners, and it really is quite challenging to to bring together and run smoothly and maximize your time. So certainly there's a big challenge here in terms of maximizing your times. The team chat, we're going to talk about the whole package a bit more in terms of what we think of the package. I think there's a lot we don't know about the game yet. We don't know the full car listings. We don't know how many stages there are going to be on each location. We don't know how long all those stages are going to be. So we don't know what kind of career mode there's going to be or additional modes that are going to be in there. And I'm sure there's going to be quite a few announcements from Codemasters in the coming months as to what you can expect to see. But either way, they seem very committed to making Dirt Rally the best game they can make with the resources they have available, and very understanding of the fan base. I think that was something I got from the event, and that they're taking on a lot of criticism and feedback from fans, especially in relation to Dirt 4, which obviously was what it was. And I look forward to future previews. If you have some feedback and you want to give it to us, or questions for the developer, there is a Dirt Rally thread that will be in the comments here as well somewhere, as I make a mistake there, which will be in the comments. Do list your questions and feedback in there. Questions for me, questions for the developers. That's where they'll get answered. As I continue on my run, and making my progress. So very challenging. That's what I can say about it right now. Very challenging. Just getting that understeer through the corner, not getting into the corners the way I would like, not necessarily always knowing the best way to get the car in as well. So obviously more boot, more acceleration in some cases seems quite obvious, but sometimes it wasn't. So I'd need a bit of training from John to maximize that. But I hope you've liked all the coverage that we've had this week so far on Dirt Rally. And as I say, next week we'll have the, or I say next week, whenever the video goes out, we'll have a team chat coming up as well. I'm going to have a chat with Kevin, and we're really going to break down the package. We're going to talk about all the announcement, we're going to talk about screenshots, video clips, and various impressions of what we think of the whole package so far. And we'd like to take in some of your questions as well. So do, as I say, do post some of those questions onto the forum, and it would be good to get some of your questions answered on our own Q&A. But that's it from me for now. I'm going to leave you with some rallying now. The audio isn't that high. It is what it is, supplied from the event. And there'll be more from me very soon.
Good afternoon, everybody. Those of you who are with us for this morning's session, if you wouldn't mind wrapping up fairly shortly, please. The afternoon session starts at 1 p.m. So if you're with us for the morning session, if there's anything else you need, please see one of the Dirt Rally 2.0 t-shirt wearing members of staff, and they'll be glad to assist. Grab a tea, and then we're going to have to ask you to G.I. Joe. Afternoon, people, do feel free to grab yourself some lunch or a beverage, and we'll be with you for the afternoon session at 1 p.m. So those of you who are here for the morning, thank you very much for joining us. If you could wrap up in the near future, that would be fantastic.